Hi, today you are going to learn about the lives of Anglo-Saxons and Vikings. In 350 AD, Anglo-Saxons raided English shores but were beaten back by the Romans. In 449, they came back to Britain and started settling down. The tribes came from northwestern Europe. Jutes came from Jutland, Angles came from the south of Denmark, and Saxons came from Germany. The tribes founded 7 kingdoms. They were Kent, Sussex, Wessex, East Anglia, Essex, Mercia, and Northumbria. Anglo-Saxons could farm, hunt, and produce textile. They were also great craft workers. Their children played with balls, hoops, whipping tops, dolls, and carved wooden toys, such as horses and small boats. Anglo-Saxons built mainly in wood because much of Britain was covered with forests. The roofs were thatched with straw. The houses were built facing the sun to get as much heat and light as possible. There was only one room where everybody ate, cooked, slept, and worked.
The Anglo-Saxons loved eating and drinking and would often have feasts in the hall. The food was cooked over the fire in the middle of the house. Meat was roasted and eaten with bread. They drank ale and mead from great goblets and drinking horns. After the feast, a minstrel would play a harp and sing songs of battles and heroes. Anglo-Saxons ate what they grew: cereals, vegetables, and fruits. Exotic foods such as potatoes, tomatoes, bananas, pineapples were unknown to the Anglo-Saxons. Early Anglo-Saxon religion was a pagan belief system based on Germanic mythology. Remnants of these gods remain in the English names for the days of the week. You can see the names of the gods on the screen. Saint Augustine was sent to England by Pope Gregory to convert the Saxons to Christianity. He landed in Kent and converted King Ethelbert of Kent and his court to Christianity and founded a monastery at Canterbury. Christianity gradually spread across England, replacing the Anglo-Saxon pagan religion. The Anglo-Saxons were impressive craftsmen. They were able to turn gold and silver into amazing works of art that were also put to practical use. Their armor, rings, and swords were all beautifully decorated. The most famous work of art is Beowulf. It is an epic poem written in the Anglo-Saxon language. The long narrative poem relates the story of a great Scandinavian 5th century warrior, Beowulf.
Anglo-Saxon tribes or kin were led by a king, warriors were expected to show complete loyalty both to the king and his family, but a king too old, weak, or ill to lead was deserted. At the top were earls, high noblemen, who were companions to the king. Then there were thanes, royal servants. They in turn stood above ceorls, ordinary freemen, who were liable for military service in the army. Below them all were slaves. A common Anglo-Saxon term for a slave was theau or wearth. Slaves did have some minimal rights, including the possibility of earning money and eventually buying their freedom. People could become slaves by penal enslavement. They also sold themselves and their children into slavery to settle their debts.
Alfred the Great was king of the southern Anglo-Saxon kingdom of Wessex and one of the outstanding figures of English history. He encouraged education and improved his kingdom's legal system, military structure, and his people's quality of life. Edward the Elder was king of the Anglo-Saxons from 899 until his death. He captured the Eastern Midlands and East Anglia from the Danes and became ruler of Mercia. Edward the Confessor was among the last Anglo-Saxon kings of England. Some historians consider him as a successful king.
After the times of Anglo-Saxons, many artifacts were found in the places where they had lived, for example knives, spears, and tools for sewing. There is also the Anglo-Saxons Chronicles, a year-by-year account of all the major events and names of the time. On the northern borders of Wiltshire, the small market town of Malmesbury stands. Its origins date back to the middle of the 6th century. Malmesbury is the oldest borough in England. The modern-day High Sheriff of the country can trace their office back to the Shire Reeve of Saxony. Some English words connected with places' names sprouted from the Anglo-Saxon. For example, a ham meant farm, so Waltham was the farm near the wood, which was wild or walt in Old English. Such words as eye, ice, walk, cane, drink, and eye also came from Anglo-Saxon.
Created using Powtoon.